Welcome to this popular Beethoven magazine discussion.
Great to be here.
Today, we're going to dive deep into a really remarkable document, Beethoven's Heiligenstadt Testament.
Yes, it's incredibly personal, isn't it?
It really is. We want to explore his profound despair as his deafness was getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe more importantly, how his art, his music, became the reason he felt he had to keep living.
Which is, well, quite an insight for all of us, I think.
Definitely. So let's set the scene a bit. Summer of 1802, right?
That's it. Beethoven heads off to Heiligenstadt, this little village outside Vienna, probably hoping for some quiet, maybe some relief.
But instead of peace, he's hit with this awful reality of his hearing loss really progressing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this massive internal crisis leads him to write this testament. It wasn't really meant for anyone else's eyes initially, you know?
Right. More like a letter to his brothers, but also maybe just to himself to process it all.
Possibly, yeah. And
Yeah.
you know, it's interesting how we sometimes picture Beethoven, maybe a bit stern, isolated.
Yeah, kind of grumpy, almost. And he knew people saw him that way. He addresses it right at the start.
He does. That quote is so striking. "O you men who think that I am malevolent, stubborn, or misanthropic, how greatly do you wrong me?"
Wow. So direct. It's like he's pleading, you don't understand.
Precisely. He knew how he was coming across this withdrawal, and he's trying to explain the secret cause, as he puts it.
And that secret cause, it was the deafness, the isolation it forced on him.
Yes. It wasn't about disliking people. He says, my bad hearing means that there can be no relaxation with my fellow men, no refined conversations, no mutual exchange of ideas.
Oh, that's tough to read.
Isn't it? He goes on, I must live almost alone like one who has been banished.
Banished, that's such a strong word. You really feel the loneliness there, the lack of connection he craved.
Absolutely. Imagine being this brilliant mind, someone who probably loved debate and sharing ideas, and suddenly
Yeah.
you can't participate anymore. The door is just closing.
It's shutting him out.
Yeah.
And then, on top of that social isolation, the sheer cruelty of it happening to a musician.
It's almost unimaginable. His entire life, his profession, his passion, all built on sound.
And he knew it. He writes about that specific agony, doesn't he?
He does, with such vulnerability. How could I possibly admit an infirmity in the one sense which ought to be more perfect in me than in others?
Wow.
A sense which I once possessed in the highest perfection, a perfection such as few in my profession enjoy or ever have enjoyed.
You can feel the shame there, can't you? And the sense of loss, not just of hearing, but of this exceptional gift he once had.
Exactly. It's personal shame, professional devastation. It's all wrapped up together. It's not just hearing loss. It's losing a part of his identity, the core of his genius.
And it wasn't just an abstract loss either. He gives these really specific, painful examples.
Right. Those moments that just hammer it home.
Yeah.
Like, what a humiliation for me when someone standing next to me heard a flute in the distance and I heard nothing.
Oh, man.
Or someone heard a shepherd singing and again I heard nothing.
Just these small, everyday sounds that connect people to the world around them. And he's cut off.
Completely. And he says, such incidents drove me almost to despair. It's those constant little reminders, those micro-humiliations that really ground down his spirit.
It makes the despair feel so real, so tangible. Not just this grand tragedy, but these constant small cuts.
And it's from this place, this accumulation of pain and isolation, that he reaches, well, an incredibly dark point.
He actually considers suicide.
Yes. He's brutally honest about it. A little more of that, and I would have ended my life.
It's chilling to read that, to know he was right there on that edge.
It really emphasizes the depth of his suffering. This wasn't just melancholy. It was a genuine crisis of existence. He was truly contemplating the end.
But he didn't end it, and that's the crucial part, isn't it? Something pulled him back.
Exactly. And that something was his art, his music.
He says it so clearly.
He does. It was only my art that held me back.
Only his art.
It seemed to me impossible to leave the world until I had brought forth all that I felt was within me.
Wow, that sense of obligation almost.
Yeah.
Like a duty to create what was inside him.
Yes. It's this powerful idea that the music yet to be written, the potential still unrealized within him, was a force strong enough to counteract the despair.
So I endured this wretched existence. He endured it for the art.
It's an incredible statement about the life-sustaining power of creativity, of purpose. He saw this future creation, this music that had to come out, and that gave him a reason to face the present pain.
And that resonates, I think, beyond just artists or composers. That idea of having something inside you that needs to be expressed, something unfinished.
Absolutely. It could be anything, a project, an idea, a relationship you want to build. That sense of future purpose, of something meaningful yet to be done, can be a really powerful anchor in tough times. Beethoven's story is just such a stark example of that.
He also mentions having to choose patience, almost reluctantly.
Yeah, it's not like a joyful acceptance. He says, patience, they say, is what I must now choose for my guide, and I have done so.
And I have done so. Like, okay, I'm gritting my teeth and doing it.
Right. It shows it was a conscious struggle, a deliberate effort to adapt, not some easy peace he found. He had to force himself to be patient with this condition he hated.
So when we look back at the Heiligenstadt Testament, it's this document born of immense pain.
Uh-huh. Deep, deep crisis.
But ultimately, it's also about resilience, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's maybe the ultimate story of resilience through art. It shows that even when facing, profound loss and utter despair, connecting with your deepest purpose, your passion, what Beethoven called his art, that can give you a reason to keep going.
It's that redemptive power of creation.
Exactly. His dedication to getting the music out was stronger than his urge to escape the suffering.
It really offers this timeless example, finding meaning, finding strength, even when things feel impossibly difficult.
The Testament gives us this incredibly raw look at a genius facing his worst nightmare. But the takeaway isn't just the darkness, it's how he found a way through it, anchored by his need to create.
So maybe the question it leaves us with is thinking about our own lives. What's our art? In that bigger sense, what's the passion or purpose that has that kind of power for us?
That's a great question. What's the thing that could sustain us through hardship? What gives us that sense of purpose when things get tough?
What's that unproduced work inside each of us, maybe, whatever form it takes?
Right. What's waiting to be brought forth that makes enduring worthwhile? Something to definitely think about.